So Jake Odorizzi, he signs a 2-year deal with the Houston Astros, and it's a good move here for Houston this late in the offseason with a week or two into spring training already to get a good pitcher in Jake Odorizzi, who's definitely going to fill in and be a good starter here in the middle of the rotation, probably a second or third starter here for Houston. Justin Verlander, he's probably going to miss most of the season after recovering from Tommy John surgery. And Odorizzi, this will be his 10th season in the bigs. His fourth team of his career. He was on Kansas City, Tampa Bay, and Minnesota the last 3 seasons. And now he's staying in the AL, obviously, with the Houston Astros. So right here, 2018, 7-10 Odorizzi was with a 4.49 ERA in 32 games started, 161 innings for him, 162 strikeouts, and a 1.345 whip. 2019, he was an all-star. Odorizzi, 15-7 with a 3.51 ERA, 30 games started, 159 innings, 178 strikeouts, and a 1.208 whip. And last season in the 2020 shortened year, he was 0-1 with a 6.59 ERA, 4 games started only, 13 innings for Odorizzi, 12 strikeouts, and a 1.390 whip. So Odorizzi last season was a lost year for him. He was banged up and injured. But last season, I don't take much into account for last season. A lot of players were out. A lot of players were injured. And it was only a 2-month season. So Odorizzi, he was an all-star in 2019. And this year with his new team in Houston, I think he could be an all-star once again this season. I don't think it's far-fetched. In his career, he's been pretty solid. 62 and 56 with a career 3.92 ERA, and it's a good landing spot, a good contract for him, and there's a player option also as well, so he could even opt out, I believe, after this season and test the free agent market once again. Is Odorizzi on the season? They're projecting him 6-5 with a 4.31 ERA and 94 innings with 98 strikeouts for Odorizzi and a 1.309 whip. So maybe they think he's going to get injured or he's not going to be ready in time to be stretched out and start. But I think he will this season. And like I said, he'll be the third or fourth starter for this Houston Astros team. And as far as fantasy baseball goes, Odorizzi, he's a player you're going to get into the mid to the later rounds in your fantasy drafts. And he's a good guy to have on your bench. Will fill out the back end of your rotation in fantasy baseball. After we saw him put up a good season in 2019, I don't think it's far-fetched, like I said, that he could do it again here with the 3.5 ERA. He's in a good ballpark. He's with a good ball club still, I believe, especially offensively. Houston, they're still going to put up numbers and give their pitchers good run support. So Odorizzi, he's a player to get 15th to the 18th round range or maybe even higher in your fantasy drafts. And he's a good get for fantasy and a sleeper as well. And it's a good move for Houston. So Jake Odorizzi signs with Houston Astros, and we'll see what he could do in the upcoming 2021 season for Houston and fantasy owners.